diplomatic shutdown. The U.S. told Russia to close its consulate in San Francisco, housed in this building, and shutter diplomatic annexes in Washington and New York. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said the decision was made personally by President Donald Trump.
We've taken a firm and measured action in response to Russia's unfortunate decision earlier this year. We want to halt the downward spiral, and we want to move forward towards better relations.
U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson phoned his Russian counterpart, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, to give him the news. Lavrov deplored the worsening U.S.-Russia relations and said Russia would decide what action to take later. The move follows Russia's order in July that the U.S. cut the number of diplomats and staff at the U.S. Embassy in Moscow by more than half. That, in turn, was retaliation for a tough new sanctions bill passed overwhelmingly by Congress and reluctantly signed into law by President Trump. Those sanctions targeted Russian industries, including its vital energy sector. The roots of the diplomatic tit-for-tat date back to last year, when U.S. intelligence agencies formally concluded that the Kremlin meddled in the 2016 presidential election in favor of Trump, implying that Russian operatives acted under orders of President Vladimir Putin. Trump has repeatedly cast doubt on those findings and vehemently denied any collusion between his campaign and Russia. He also insists he wants better relations with Putin. A special counsel is investigating whether the Trump campaign worked with the Russians and whether there were any attempts at a cover-up. Relations may be strained, but a senior U.S. official said Tillerson and Lavrov both expressed interest in improving relations.
I think that both President Trump and particularly his cabinet have come to just recognize the limits of what can be accomplished in the U.S.-Russia relationship for the foreseeable future.
By chance or by design, the latest retaliation came as Russia's new ambassador to Washington spent his very first day on the job. Ambassador Anatoly Antonov said the situation should be dealt with calmly, and he also offered up a quote from Lenin saying, "We don't need any hysterical impulses." Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Washington.